Welcome aboard, fellow passengers. This week's episode is about my beloved Charlie, which I shockingly guessed from the title. Go BusyBee. In honor of our rocker drug addict, I have found the perfect pop culture reference. 20 years ago, Peter Jackson took home 3 Oscars. Best Director, Best Picture, and Best Adapted Screenplay. All for The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Dominic Monaghan played the role of Merry in the trilogy, and you'll never guess how he wants to be buried. How does this tie into our podcast today? It just does, because this is Lost Ate My Podcast. Hi, hijinx.
Hello, BusyBee.
So would you like to explain how Dom wants to be buried? Because you sent me this very recently.
Yes, I did. I don't know how old. It couldn't have been that old because Dominic and Billy and the lot are showing their age. But
yeah, everyone in the video had very much a lot of gray. So it definitely wasn't 20 years ago that they filmed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is within probably the past year. But obviously, Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd, and I know Sean Astin, and I think Elijah might have been there too. But they were doing a panel, obviously at some, I'm assuming an LOTR, Lord of the Rings panel. And Dominic brought up that in the appendices of Lord of the Rings,
the many appendices,
the many appendices to Lord of the Rings, it said that Merry and Pippin, they met up with Aragorn and did end up being buried with Aragorn, and that Dom and Billy had decided to bring up with Viggo that they thought that would be a very good idea, that they should also be buried with Viggo. And Billy and Dom are 100%, ready to go through with this idea. Dom felt that Viggo was about 12 to 13%, in with it, though. I almost called Billy.
Billy.
But Billy says that Viggo was absolutely not. He was like 0% in on it. But they think that they can wear him down over time.
They also brought up the fact that he'll probably die before them, so he won't have a say in it anyway.
Which I find that hard to believe. But yeah, it was pretty funny. So, yeah.
So I was trying to do the math. Let me pull up one thing real quick, because I'm pretty certain I'm right.
I think Billy is older than all of them. I don't think he's older than Viggo, but I know he's the oldest Hobbit.
So 20 years ago, Dominic was younger than I am now. I'm 30. He was 27 filming Lost.
Yep.
Because I think they said that he was like in his early 20s when they started The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He was one of the youngest, I think.
Well, I think Elijah was the youngest. And then Billy was like 30 or something. I don't remember. This is not what we're here to talk about.
But it's all Dominic Monaghan. It's all Dominic. That's all the point.
When I saw the title, I was like, oh, Dom's episode. I knew.
My notes were like Moth to a Flame, maybe like a drug addict. Look, it's Charlie.
I kind of vaguely remembered that it was like his metamorphosis drug thing. That I didn't remember the whole episode, but I remembered that Locke was. Yeah.
Before we get into the episode, go watch it if you haven't already. How dare you? How dare you be listening to us without watching the episode? If you watched it 20 years ago, I guess that counts, but...
I know, but it is hard. I mean, there's lots of... as I've been watching the episodes, there's a lot of stuff I forgot. I was just like, wow, I don't remember this at all.
It happened. We talked about this, I think, last week.
But
SCEVE.
Oh, yeah. I'm Scott. I'm Steve. I know. That is a fandom thing. Well, the funny thing is that is a fandom thing, because one or both of them came to the fuselage. One of them was very active, and I'm not going to remember which one it is.
It was SCEVE.
But it was SCEVE. They had their own little fan club, The funniest thing is that they actually forgot who was hired to play who at some point. like the writers forgot, or I mean, like, so it wasn't just.
Did they just play rock paper scissors to see who got to be Scott and who got to be Steve each day?
I don't remember, but I mean, I think that they did actually forget at some point, because but that was like a whole joke thing, the Scott and Steve, and then so they had kind of like a joint, because if you notice, they did look almost exactly alike.
They look identical, almost.
Yeah.
They look identical for extras.
So they were SCEVE. That was their band.
It's like Legion. Our name is SCEVE.
Yeah, SCEVE. So
I spelled it right then. I figured that's how it was spelled.
So they had their own they had a joint. One of the guys' name was Dustin. Dustin was the one who was, it was like majorly active, but he came on occasionally. And I think he participated more on the threaded board. I can talk, I swear. He participated more on the threaded board and like had some fun over there. So it was nice. So when the extras will come in and interact, get behind the scenes stuff. So that was funny when that came out. I was like, oh, it's SCEVE. There they are.
I want to have SCEVE on the podcast, please. If either Scott or Steve or both. I
want to say.
I want to talk about your experience as
Washman?
the joint person known as SCEVE.
SCEVE. I think it's Watchman. Dustin Watchman. I don't know. I know that.
I mean,
some of the people on the fuselage became really good friends with them. But yeah.
I love hearing like all these actors that were coming onto the thing and just being a part of it. It makes my heart all warm and fuzzy. I've done the no. I've gone on to IMDb and I'm trying to avoid looking at everything. I just need to know who played Scott and Steve.
You shouldn't have done that, or you should have just let me do it, or do it like before you come on the podcast.
Christian Bowman and Dustin Watchman. Good job.
There you go.
Dustin played Scott and Christian played Steve for this episode. I'm not sure if that changes at any point, but
it probably does. Yeah, I think I recognize both names, so I think they both came on at some point, but I'm pretty sure Dustin was the one who was more active than Christian. But yeah, I think at some point that flip-flops. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Okay, so before we continue, we're going to keep talking about the episode, but I just have to make a disclaimer. I might cut it out later. It depends on how much you can hear through my mic. They are demoing my kitchen. There's a wall separating me.
I cannot hear.
She says she can't hear anything, but when I've listened to recordings, it picks up a lot of stuff. Like it might have just picked up a set of keys dropping. So we'll find out. Maybe this is cut and you don't have to worry about it. And I'm just talking to myself. Or you're listening to this and you realize you hear slight whirring noises in the background as they install cabinet handles. So
just
Junior's doing his best to be quiet. It doesn't work, though, when things drop. I know there are several points I'm going to have to cut of my own audio. Thankfully, Hijinx and I now have separate audios because I figured that out. So I could just mute me for portions. But this is going to depend.
It will depend.
Going into the episode, I love the symbolism of the moth and like a moth to a flame and how the drugs were kind of like Charlie's flame, but then he also threw them into the flames.
Yes.
Very much big symbolism there.
He burnt them. Well, I mean, the flame being, fame and
fame, they're the same thing.
Him trying to be, bringing up his band and want the people to recognize him and people.
Well, it's because of something his brother says. They said no one knows who the bassist is in Drive Shaft. I am Drive Shaft.
Well, but not just, again, though, like he said in the beginning, for him it was all about the music or whatever. But yeah, it eventually became about wanting people to recognize that. Yeah.
So it was partially because
he was his Drive Shaft.
His brother said before his brother's kid was born and all that, without me, there is no Drive Shaft. No one knows who the bassist is. And so that's what got Charlie hooked on the drugs. And then later on, when he's trying to talk to his brother about rejoining Drive Shaft, it's because he has like all this stuff booked, but they won't do it without the face of Drive Shaft, which they consider to be Liam, not Charlie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, poor Charlie. He's my baby.
Poor Charlie.
He's our rocker drug addict. I said good Charlie for once in my notes instead of bad Charlie.
Yeah. Well, I know that some of the future episodes get more into their fame and stuff. I couldn't remember how much they got into it this time. That was definitely a.
I found it hilarious that it started with confession. And confession about a threesome of all things.
Yeah, that was, I don't remember. That was a little involved. The priest was like, oh, good Lord. Literally.
The priest is like, who the heck is in my confession booth?
Well, no, I'm sure the priest knew exactly what it was.
Oh, Charlie's back. Dang it.
He probably didn't say dang it.
Priest probably said something worse, but I can't say it because if I do, my mother uses my real name and I can't. So.
Oh, it's true.
Because I tried and then she called me out on it.
Yes.
I was biblically correct. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think Charlie does have one of the better storylines, I think. Just getting into the whole.
I love Charlie. Love him so much.
You don't love Charlie. You love Dominic.
I do love Dominic. He's great. He's almost 20 years my senior, but he's great. It's only 17. I also made notes as I said, why are we trusting Shannon with this? Also, why are we trusting Sawyer with this? And seriously, they're like, yeah, Shannon can totally do this. Also, Sawyer can totally go talk to Kate without making it a thing. And guess what happened? He made it a thing.
Of course she did.
But hey, at least Shannon fired off the firework.
I know. That was amazing.
Oh,
but yeah.
The end of the episode. I'm excited. Means things are moving along.
Mm-hmm.
It means I'm probably going to get my guy soon. Hopefully within the next 2 episodes. That's my plan.
It's your plan?
It's my plan. Now that Saeed has been flapped over the head.
That's your hope.
Mm-hmm. That's my hope.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So my hope with Saeed and his head flapping is that my guy comes soon.
Head flapping or head flapping?
Head flap.
Flap.
Because I'm pretty sure this starts the storyline that I've been waiting for, that I thought happened by episode 6, and apparently it didn't happen yet. So
I think that was more like a mid-season. I don't think we're mid-season yet.
Well, no, we're only on episode 7.
I know. I'm saying that I think that revelation or whatever was more of a mid-season thing, right?
Something like that. Man, I really thought he was in there sooner than that. I think because I know part of his storyline revolves around the mid-season finale, the like climax bit. It involved him, but I could have swore he was in for a couple episodes before that. So, waiting desperately.
Yeah, but
Any true Lost fanatic knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I think because of the fact that they do the manifest check.
I need that manifest.
Yeah, because but I think I think it's only within like. I think that all happens in like one to 2 episodes. So yeah, it has to. I think we still got a few episodes before that happens.
Because I'm pretty sure it's like people who are going missing and this and that. Also, the doctor should be coming up. Probably closer to the mid-season, if not a little after. Because they're looking for something specifically that he can help with. But
it's still,
other doctor.
I know, but I think that's when, again, that's with the. We're going to start spoiling stuff if we keep talking about this.
I know, I'm trying to avoid it.
Stop.
Let's just talk about Charlie.
Let's talk about Charlie and his bleep hole brother.
I have to apologize. I listened to the podcast after they've been posted. I missed one of your a-hole drops, your A-bombs.
Oops. Am I not allowed to cuss?
We've been trying to avoid it. We try really hard. We try really hard to avoid cursing. I'm not allowed to say what I wanted to say that the priest would have said. You're not allowed to call somebody an A.
Well, first of all, that wasn't for the cursing. It's just I don't think you should have the priest saying that.
I thought it was biblically accurate. You know, hellfire and all that. But more episode diving. I like the fact that they decide that Charlie, who's just popped out of a cave-in, should run all the way back to the beach and all the way back.
Yeah.
And then go find Locke. And then go back into the tunnel that collapses behind him.
Well,
really got a workout in.
It's his episode.
Yeah, he did a tour of the island, at least this portion of it. Yep. Poor boy.
Okay. Oh,
He's going all over the place. He's going to get tired. His little drug-riddled brain that hasn't had drugs in a day and a half is going to break.
Well, he needed to burn off some of that hangover or withdrawal, not hangover, withdrawal.
For those of you who couldn't hear, Junior popped his head in and said, "Did somebody say drugs?"
We don't need ad libs.
We are the ad libs. That's what this podcast is for. Our hijinks and I ad lib left and right.
We are the ad libbers, not him. Yeah, I mean, but that's typical of an episode that is dedicated to a character. Suddenly they have a lot to do. Like Claire just popped up out of nowhere. We hadn't seen her in like the past couple episodes, and then poof, there she is again. I was like, wow, I totally forgot about Claire.
She wasn't in this episode at all.
Oh, sorry, it's next. I forgot. I watched two.
For the record,
it's not my fault. We were supposed to watch two.
I would like to apologize. Normally, hijinks and I try to record 2 episodes at a time. We couldn't the past 2 weeks. We're going to try again this week. And
we were supposed to do it tonight.
I started episode 8 about 3 hours ago. And then I couldn't finish because Junior is currently in college and I am helping him with his English class because I'm not an English major. I'm an English nerd. He said nerd in the other room. Nerd. So I'm helping him with that class. So we were trying to go through his homework and like get it all submitted because it needs to be submitted for tomorrow. And one of the assignments, you have to make a post on the thing and then respond to other people's posts on 2 separate days. So he had to do it today and he has to do it tomorrow. So we got all of this stuff ready and he knows who he's responding to tomorrow. He figured out what he's going to talk about. All that fun stuff. This class involves APA format. I failed freshman English because I cannot do MLA format.
Why are we revealing all this?
Because it's the reason why I couldn't finish episode 8.
Oh.
I had to sit here and try to conform my brain. I had to try to conform. I don't conform my brain for other people's writings. I will not read the book unless I want to. As we discussed in an earlier episode, I do not like To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I have to skip the first few chapters in order to get into it. So trying to help him figure out how to make cognitive responses that use APA format is just hurting my brain. And I like English. He doesn't. So it took us a few hours to get through his 2 assignments. So unfortunately, hijinks has watched ahead of me.
So your helping was unhelping?
I helped. We got all his stuff done. He's going to respond to 2 more posts tomorrow so that he gets above and beyond the grade that he needs, because Lord knows we're going to need every point we can get this semester. But apparently, hijinx has watched episode 8, and we've now come to realize Claire is in episode 8. She was not in episode 7, which I find odd.
Sorry.
But I find odd because they were kind of like pinging Claire and Charlie together in those first couple of episodes. And they do that more in later episodes too. So the fact that Claire wasn't in a Charlie episode, I just found it interesting that they did manage to find a whole aspect of his story that didn't need to involve Claire at all.
Well, but in the next episode,
Shush you.
When Charlie's clean.
In theory, he's still detoxing. At least at the end of 7, he is.
Yeah.
So, Moth.
But again,
the Moth
I forgot
man.
that was the next one. So anyway.
This is why we need to pay attention to what we do. So, before we get into the fandom topic, is there anything else you want to talk about the episode?
No, I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, the SCEVE stuff was funny.
SCEVE stuff was awesome. So, before we delve into the fandom thing, if you'll notice at the bottom of this podcast, I post the links to our Instagram, our Twitter, our X, and our email. And I think there's also a Spotify link, maybe. This week will be different. It'll have one extra link.
Yay!
We started a Discord.
Woot, 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 woot.
Hijinx has been posting gifts in all the channels I've made so far, so that's been fun.
All but one. There's one I haven't.
Yeah, Sawyer's Book Club. That's the only one you have it.
It's been too long since I've read Watership Down, so
I do need it. I want to do the actual book club and read the books. Maybe not the pace he's reading them, because I'm reading 1,000 other books at once. But
we've had 3 episodes with Watership Down. He's not really cracking through them right now.
I like how he said in the 7th episode, I think you'd like it. No. He says it at the beginning of the 8th, doesn't he?
It's about bunnies.
It's about bunnies. He does say it at the beginning of the 8th. I apologize. Spoiler. But it's in the first 3 minutes. So
it's about bunnies.
It's about bunnies.
Is that the spoiler?
It's the fact that he's talking about the book.
You like it about bunnies.
About bunnies. I do need to read it, though. It's on my long list of books to read.
I haven't read it.
Ever-growing list of books.
A few decades.
A few decades, was I alive? Or...
No, I don't think so. I'm talking about I think I read it in high school.
Oh.
I think I had to read it in high school. Or elementary school, I don't remember.
So, anyway, the Discord. Come join us on the Discord. You can change your server profile name to be what it was on the Fuselage if you'd like, or not. We have a couple of channels. Hijinx has insisted that you better behave yourselves on the Shipper War channel I created, or she will start throwing things.
It was created without my permission, so. But I will close it.
So far, there are only 3 roles. One is the Goldenrod of Doom, which went to Hijinx and Hijinx alone.
Of course.
I gave myself the role of the creator of chaos because that's what I'm doing with this podcast. And I asked Junior what he wanted his role to be, and he said the pusher of buttons. So those are the only 3 roles we have so far. If there are any other roles that you guys would like us to add, please, when you join the Discord, let us know what you'd like. The pusher of buttons is turning the light switch on and off. So there's a rave on my screen.
He's pushing buttons even as
he's pushing my buttons. So yes, please join the Discord. Tell us what role you'd like. If you had any specific kind of role on any other site for the Fuselage, or even way back on the Bronx. No, the Bronze.
Did you really just call it the Bronze?
Z, not X. Z, not X.
I don't remember.
If you had anything on the Bronze, or if you were on some other site that was Lost or fandom related and you had it, please use it so that we can recognize you and talk to you, and we can have chats and we can watch the episodes. We can do live watches together, because maybe that'll get me on an actual watching schedule for these. It won't be same day that the episode aired 20 years ago, because that's the date that the podcast episode airs. So I need to watch it at least a few days beforehand so I can do edits. So we might do like a week ahead kind of thing. Okay, so getting into...
Side note, there's a fight breaking out in the Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers football game.
That will date this episode. Only by a week.
That's okay. I'm just saying, fights don't usually break out in football games. I mean, it's like a hockey game breaking out in a hockey game.
It's like, this is hockey? Didn't know I was watching a hockey game.
It's more fun than the hockey games because they got sticks.
And they have skates. They can take them off and use them to slice.
There's a guy actually killed at a hockey game. That wasn't intentional, but he did get his carotid cut.
One last thing before we get into the fandom topic, which I let hijinx take over this week. I do apologize. I did not spot it right away. Our YouTube video for episode 5 did not load successfully originally. I didn't find out until yesterday or the day before, because started logging into, because like I said in earlier episodes, I will check the emails and all that at least once a week when we go in to start recording or when I go to watch an episode or I go to edit. One of the 3 times I will go and check the emails. And I noticed, because I went onto my phone to try to watch the episode, because I'll watch it on YouTube and I'll just leave it on in the background. And that's how I caught the fact that I missed you dropping the A-bomb. I noticed episode 5 wasn't up. I'm like, why is it not up? I checked the YouTube. It was listed as private for a whole week.
Uh-oh.
Not sure what happened. So 5 and 6 came out almost within 24 hours of each other. Not supposed to happen like that. They're supposed to be a week apart. And I realized also I was releasing all the episodes on the wrong day. First episode was released on a Sunday. Everything else released on Saturdays, except for 6, which came out on a Sunday because I realized my mistake. Now they should be in line with the release schedule 20 years ago. So I've been stressed this week. It's also why I didn't watch all the episodes that I was supposed to. But well, we're here. We at least got one to record. I got the one in.
Way to go.
Woo! Alrighty, hijinx.
So proud.
What did you want to discuss for fandom topic this week? I left it up to you. Normally I like to surprise you, but you complained about that last time.
I did. Well, not complained. Did I complain? I never really complained.
I think for whatever we did for episode 5, you said if I had had more notice, I would have pulled some records or something like that.
Yes.
So I'm leaving you to your devices this week. I'll let you decide on the odd episodes.
Well, did you want me to talk
You said you might have something, but if you didn't, I gave you a suggestion. So if you remembered what it was you wanted to talk about, great. If not, we can do the other thing I suggested.
I think what I was thinking about was SCEVE, but then we already talked about that because that was what I thought about when I couldn't remember if SCEVE was in this episode or the next one.
He was definitely in this one.
I watched both.
Yeah.
But you brought him up, so now I know he was in this one.
When Charlie ran down to the beach, he went up to Boone, and Boone turned around and was like, Scott or Steve, whichever one he said. I don't even remember anymore. He's like, no, I'm this one. That's that one. Well, both of you.
Yeah.
Come help us dig. Basically how it went.
Yeah, to help move the rocks.
Okay, so this other topic. You said somebody in specific would be very excited about this.
Yes. Well, we're gonna talk briefly about so one of the things that happened or that came about from the fandom was one of my lovely fuselage friends who went by DJ Katie, Kaidy, on the fuselage. So she had a background in communications and radio. So she put on pretty sure it was once a week. Oh, it's going to kill me. I don't remember which night it was. I want to say Thursday or I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday nights. She would do Lost Radio. And I cannot remember all the details. And now I need Katie to remind me of the wins and the wears. I could be completely wrong. It could have been on the weekends. But now I just cannot remember. But so once a week she would do a show, and she would, she would have a list of songs she would play, and, she would talk and do Lost, talk about Lost related topics from the episode. Sometimes she would do interviews. I mean, she interviewed Javi, I know. Sometimes she would just be interview different people, some of the fuselagers, diffusers and the loggers.
Bears? She interviewed bears?
Yes. But no, I mean, it was great because she was, and we could listen to her live. I mean, we could go to, there's a link that she would post that we could go and listen to the episodes live, or I think that we could listen to the recordings of them. So it was, I mean, she actually, I can't remember where she did the recordings out of, because she had like a radio history, but I don't think she did them from an actual radio station, but she had all the equipment to be able to do it. So I think she did it kind of as a podcast, maybe. I don't even remember now, because I feel like she did it. God, she's going to have to correct me because I don't remember how she did it now.
TJ Katie, if you listen to these episodes, please message us. We'd love to do an actual interview with you about Lost Radio as well.
Oh, yeah. She's on, I mean, yeah, we're friends on Facebook.
She's in the Doom chat.
She's in the Doom chat, and she's of course more than welcome to come over to Discord and blow us up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was great because she would play, great songs, and we would chat during her while she was there, and just
man, I mean, I'd love to figure out how to get songs on these things. I've tried so hard. I can't get it to work.
No, but I mean, it was
bad.
Like I said, there was kind of a core group of us that, like I said, I've remained friends with the same group of people for 20 years now. And, we met in person at the Lost parties. We went to other conventions together, and we're roommates. We've traveled to visit each other in different states, and in some instances, other countries. And, we've all still been friends after all these years. And so Katie is one of those people who I've been friends with through all this.
Speaking of other countries, I was looking at the demographics on Spotify for listeners. 95% US, 5% Germany.
Well, that's either Star Rocks or...
We know who you are.
What does she go by? I don't want to get... The problem now is that I've known a lot of these people by their real names for like the past 10 years or so. So I'm going to give somebody's name away. So I can't say who the other one. But
Don't worry. I usually cut it out.
I know at least two people in Germany. So I'm assuming it's one or both of them who are listening as well. So thank you, our dear German listeners.
I will try to look it up. See if she changed her name on the chat.
Like I said, I can only think of her real name right now because that's what I've known her for a long time.
Mahandra?
Is it Mahandra? It might be.
Because that's who I'm seeing. That's the one I know for sure. I'm friends with her on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably right.
That's what she... So, Mahandra. Sorry that it took us that long. I'm used to calling you by your other names.
Names. Yeah. But anyway, so like I said, there's a group of friends, I've through pictures on Facebook, I've seen weddings and babies and life changes, and we've just been all friends for like a long time. And again,
I just think that's fantastic that this fandom forgotten that well.
Yep. Well, and just, like I said, we've known each other so long now that I'm having to be reminded of everyone's real online names.
Telling you.
But I mean, and some of these people I I haven't seen now in, 12, 14 years probably. But, for a good solid 4 or 5 years, we were traveling, crisscrossing the country to go see each other at Lost conventions, or a few of them came to, some of us went to Dragon Con. There was a group of us that went to Comic Con one year. And so anyway, but DJ Katie was one of those, a member of that group. And like I said, so when she would put on the Lost Radio, there's like a lot of inside jokes kind of stuff that we would all know about. And,
speaking of inside jokes, if you've seen episode 6, I hope you catched it in the description. It said Mandingos.
Oh, yes. Mandingos. That's part of the jokes.
You.
Yes.
I'm going to end every single description with Mandingos now.
You understand the Mandingos.
I am one with the Mandingos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, yes. If at some point when we get all this figured out,
one day I'll get our lives together. Today's not that day.
Today's not that day. It may be this first batch of episodes is not the time to get that done, but I would love to have some of my.
Look, we got 6 seasons worth of content to shove in here. Do the best I can.
Well, and I may have to vet some of my friends to make sure they don't tell any secrets. So
email me directly, people.
No. DJ Katie knows that I'm just gonna. The only thing she's got on me is that she just hated that every time we went to a convention, I would change my ringtone to Milkshake.
That was the one I thought you were talking about last week.
Yep, she's the one that absolutely hated that. So every time
knew this story.
every time I showed up at the Lost fan parties, I made sure that I changed my text alert to Khaleesi's Milkshake song, so that she would scream and yell at me every time I got a text. She absolutely hated that song. So I'm the best friend ever.
That's like if you changed yours to the "What's my name" for me. What's my name? God, I hated that song. What was the name of that band? The Ring Tings or something like that?
The Ting Tings. No, I would change. The one you really hated was that that song from the "So You Think You Can Dance."
So you think you can prance?
Yeah, but the Rama Lama.
Dong dong ba dong.
Yep.
God, that one too.
That was one I hid in your iPod.
You did. And the moment you said, I have a surprise for you in your iPod, this was iPod shuffle era, folks. It was all shuffled together. I had no idea. I just click, 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 click.
Yeah, it was one. You didn't have that Rama Lama Bang Bang or something like that.
Something like that. I burned it in my brain.
You're welcome.
Burned it.
You're welcome.
All just black marks.
That's what moms are for. All right. Do we have anything else?
Not that I can think of right offhand. I think we covered just being creepy fat. One day I will post these videos.
No.
Yes. So yeah. I believe that's all we have. This episode was about one of my absolute favorite characters, Charlie Boy. And he's one of my absolute favorites just because of the road he went through with his addiction and his coming back to the light and all that fun stuff. And his general like goofy attitude, like the whole like I don't swim instead of I can't, it's I don't. Like nope, not doing it.
I don't swim. I don't swim.
Still one of my favorite lines. Oh, I just realized I didn't go over my favorite quotes from the episode. Hold on. My notes are just out of
not done.
Oh no, wait. Hold on.
She's gone.
I'm back. Okay. Let's see here. Thank God for fireworks smugglers, Saeed.
Which is weird. Pretty sure that would still be illegal.
Oh, let's see.
That was their way of explaining why there's fireworks in their cargo.
Yep. I have SCEVE in capital letters. That was great.
SCEVE.
The film canisters to hold the drugs. Oh my God. For anyone younger than my generation who didn't understand what those little black containers were that had the drugs in the dressing room.
I didn't even think about that. They wouldn't recognize what that was.
Way back in olden days.
In the olden days, when I was a child.
That had film. Film could not touch light. They had to go to a special room to touch light. They had to put in little black canisters so no light touch it.
Exactly.
They didn't have phones that automatically had the photo ready. They had to take it to dark rooms and all that fun stuff. Stoof. It cracked me up. Also, Charlie's red highlights.
Oh, yeah. That was his, hey, I'm on stage now, so I have to have in-sync highlights.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot about Jack's shoulder.
Yeah.
Let's see. I ended with good Charlie, as I should. He threw the drugs in the fire. Normally, it's a lot of bad Charlie scrawled across my notes. The last thing before we get out of here. The struggle is nature's way of strengthening it. As someone who's been going through a lot of BS lately, I feel it deep in my soul. I just don't want this much strength.
You're like, all right, God, I'm strong enough.
I don't want to be He-Man. I want to be done with this.
No, we don't need a female version of The Rock. I'm good. That was not my goal.
I don't want to be female Terry Crews. I don't want to make my pecs dance. I just stop it.
We don't need two sets of dancing pecs around here.
Yeah, I'm done with the strength. I want to be done. So that concludes the Moth. Any final closing arguments from you? Hijinx. Mamacita. Nope. Alrighty. Well,
using my government name.
Mamacita, yeah. And both of us without a touch of Hispanic in our blood.
I don't know. I think there might be some in your blood somewhere.
My dad's maybe. My neighbors are Hispanic. That doesn't count though.
That by proxy. We need to get a
look. We get really good food over here.
We need to get some. We need to get a DNA test on you and your brother.
I've taken a DNA test. There's nothing about Mexico. But brother needs to take it so I can get the Y.
I've never seen your DNA test. You never told me you did one.
Yes, I did. It's on Ancestry.
I don't have Ancestry.
Sent you the results ages ago. I'm white.
No, you didn't. I've never seen your results.
Anyway.
I think I have access to Dad's, but no, I've never seen it. You have to show them.
Okay. Yeah. No, I would need brothers for the Y chromosome. But enough about that. Enough about us. This is about you and all of us going and doing whatever else we're doing on this.
It's about you all, everybody.
Sunday morning for us. It's Sunday night because we recorded it.
You all, everybody.
Sunday.
You all, everybody.
You all, everybody. Okay, so as always, you can find us on Instagram and X, Lost Take My Pod. We're also on YouTube, Lost Take My Pod, Spotify, iTunes podcast.
Join us on Discord.
Join us on the Discord. Lost Take My Podcast. The link will be in the description below.
It's the new fuselage.
If for whatever reason your link isn't working, you can always shoot us the email at lostttakemypod.
Don't shoot us with real guns, though.
Shoot us an email, mother. I said email. Shoot us an email, lostttakemypod, and I will send you the direct link to get you onto the Discord. Please, we would love to make it grow, have a small community. We could do live watch parties. And I'll have you know,
sometime in
season 2, or maybe season 3, I don't remember when this relates, we'll be doing a watch through of, what's it called?
Okay.
You know what? No, I have it up on the other screen. Where is it? It's the only thing I've watched on the Lost Take My Podcast
Lost Rhapsody.
Lost Rhapsody.
Well, you lost the first one, so we can only watch the second one.
No. It's on YouTube.
Oh. Well, Captain Bob was one of the people who...
Video by Captain Bob.
I was going to say Captain Bob probably has the first one, too. But, Captain Bob is part of the group chat, so...
So, yeah, we're going to wait until we get a little bit further on so we don't spoil anything for anyone who's watching one for the first time.
Did you hear me that Captain Bob is part of the group chat?
Oh, my God.
Did you not know that?
As soon as we're done recording, I'm going to message him and say you were creating my favorite thing ever.
Yeah. The first one,
I watched this thing so much. Did he create the second one, too?
Yeah, he did both of them. Captain Bob, one of the people in the group chat.
Just hijinx. This is a special notice to Captain Bob. My brother is potentially naming his future cat, possibly because of what you and hijinx have taught him about boogaloos.
He didn't do that. That's from a movie from the 80s.
I know it's from a movie from the 80s, but the fact that we only became aware of it because of the second Rhapsody.
He didn't name it that.
Rhapsody, Electric Boogaloo. I'm pretty sure.
He didn't name it Lost Rhapsody to Electric Boogaloo. That's just something that I always said. I don't think he knew that. He just...
I'll have to look it up, but I am saving it. If I can find it. Anyway, yeah, no, hijinx always called it Electric Boogaloo. Technically, I'm making it your fault, Captain Bob. But that's okay. No. You can take credit.
No,
my brother wants to name his cat Boogie because it'd be his second cat.
No, that has nothing to do with Captain Bob. But Captain Bob deserves all the credit for the Lost Rhapsodies because they're fantastic.
They are. I love watching it. I love watching it so much. I watched it even though I knew it would give me some spoilers. But it's all the ones I'm aware of because I have that video memorized.
Yeah, I think we do have to wait till... Well, we can watch the first one after the end of season 1, and then the second one.
I think we need at least the end of season 1 because
then the second one is after the end of season 2, I think. Because Lost Rhapsody 1 was for the end of season 1, and Lost Rhapsody 2 is the end of season 2.
Yeah, I try not to play favorites except for Captain Bob. You will hold a special place in my heart forever. But that's all for this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever people say at the end of YouTube videos. I don't normally say. But please, our audience is growing, and this has been fantastic to watch going onto my analytics page on the YouTube and on Spotify.
Especially because we ramble so much.
I do ramble a lot.
I said we ramble.
We ramble. I got it from you.
Ramble-lamma-ding dong.
Stop that. Yesterday alone, we had 10 views on videos. So, yeah, I'm excited.
10 whole people?
10.
How many were you?
Might be me. Possibly just me. It just says 10 views. It doesn't say how. 11 views on the first one, the past 28 days. Like, I love seeing this. I love noticing that people are actually watching it. It's a lot of just recurring people at this point. It doesn't say that it's any new people. We had some new people back on like the 13th and stuff, but so thank you. Thank you for helping us grow. We're never going to be like one of those big timey podcasts like Serial or anything, but we're just here for the fans and ourselves. We're here to live vicariously through our... Stop it, you're creepy. We're here to just live vicariously through ourselves from 20 years ago and reminisce like we're...
Like you're 10 years old again?
Like we're at a 20-year high school reunion and we're talking about the homecoming game. That's what this is. Except our team won.
You didn't understand football when you were 10.
I didn't understand football when I was 10. I probably still don't understand football today, but I was in the marching band. So I had to be on the field. They came for us. They didn't come from our football team. Our football team sucked. All right. Anyway, that's all from us. I'm going to end this before we ramble on too much. And we will see you all next week. Thank you for joining our flight today. Good night, good morning, whatever it is for you.